Zach McKeever. Okay, so we are now down to our headliner. She needs no introduction, but I will give her one anyway. She is a multi-platinum selling artist with the band Danity Kane, which means she sold 1 million albums, and then she did it again, and then she did it a couple more times, and then she did it again. She is working on a book, I believe, with Sarah Benincasa, who you saw earlier, and she played Celebrity Apprentice better than anyone has ever done that show. Ladies and gentlemen, Aubrey O'Day!
So, Beowulf called me a couple days back and he said, hey, you know, someone dropped out, we want you to come speak again. And I said, okay, well, what's the topic? And I heard him say, Spanx. And I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. I have this whole fucked up history with Spanx, so this will be amazing. And just for the guys that are looking like confused right now, do you guys know what Spanx are, ladies?
Yeah.
Do you guys know, guys? Do you need a definition? They need girls. Do you want to give it a shot? Tight girdles. Here, I looked it up actually earlier. It's kind of hilarious. Okay, so UrbanDictionary.com calls them power panties used by portly people for the illusion of slimness. Also shorthand for saying thanks, so I guess they tie into each other. I also just have to read the sentence that it's used in because it's amazing. I ate too much damn prime rib at the buffet and can only fit into my Jordak jeans with the help of my Spanx. So, Spanx, here we go. I filmed a lot of shows, as Beowulf has said. And in particular, I was filming a show and started up this unspoken connection with a big celebrity who I can't name because I'll get sued up the ass. But anyway, we started up this connection. We would always be staring at each other. We did the little eye fucking thing. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but like the intense stares or something's gonna happen. And we built up this whole relationship. We became friends. We became more than friends. We became the in-between thing for a while. And then on the finale, we did this big performance, and I was walking through the hallways and got pulled into this bathroom, and he threw me up against the wall and looked at me for like 2 seconds, and then we just started making out like crazy all over, on top of this, behind that, underneath this. And then he goes to rip off my dress, and you know, I was like busy making porn faces and stuff, so I was like lost in the moment, and he started laughing. So I looked up and I'm like, what? And then he's like, holy fuck, I've never seen Spanx that big in my life. No. Yes, I maybe was a little portly, according to UrbanDictionary.com, and trying to make my body slimmer for this finale of this show so I could look pretty on TV. But in the process, I forgot that I wore the big Spanx, the ones that come all the way up underneath your boobs and go down to your knees. So they're like fucking fierce. So yeah, like the hot, sexy moment with the big celebrity, which was the first, you know, big celebrity that ever like cared about me, saw me in like a humiliating situation. So I'm thinking for sure we're not going to continue this. This was embarrassing. Oh, by the way, I forgot to also mention this. Spanx have like a little hole because they're difficult to get on and off. So they have a little hole so you could just conveniently squat and go to the bathroom. So needless to say, those Spanx didn't come off during that whole thing. But don't act like you guys haven't done that, thank you, God, way to fucking leave me hanging. So we actually end up starting up a relationship. He thinks it's funny. He was willing to move past it, but he does call me Spanky every single conversation that we had, which ended up being my nickname for a very long time. So basically we get into this relationship, we build, it's great, but I start getting nervous and my trust issues start taking over, and I feel like, what is so great about me? Like, I think I'm great, but like, you know, he hangs out with like Victoria's Secret models, he's at dinner with huge celebrities, he runs with the biggest agents and managers, and like, he's the shit. So I can't really trust this person. We're from different worlds, we're different people. So I overwhelmingly continued to put on a front. I tried to be exactly what he wanted, I tried to be better than the things he had had. And we were separated because we lived on different sides of the country, so we began to text message, we would have phone sex, which led to this thing called Skype. Does everybody know what that is? So we decided we were going to have like Skype sex because it was just so intense and passionate, and like we had to see each other doing these things. So I'm like, fuck, I don't even have a Skype. I had to pretend like I'd done it a million times. So I call my girlfriend and she comes over and sets me up with the Skype because I don't even understand how to use that shit. And I'm like, okay, like what do people normally do? And she's like, well, you know, you just look sexy, push up your boobs, like whatever, you talk dirty, and you guys touch yourselves for each other. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. You know, like I'm not gonna be good at this. So she's like, listen, don't freak out, take this pill, it'll calm you down. Yeah, so she gave me a pill, she told me it's very important with Skype if you wanna be like this guy's first amazing one, they're better than the others, that you keep it casual. You don't wanna look like you're trying too hard, you don't wanna look like you're desperate. I think Kim Kardashian coined that word. So, anyway, I didn't want to look desperate. So I got to the house, and by the way, this pill that she gave me is something called a Klonopin. And that bitch is sitting in the back right over there. If you guys want some drugs later, she's available. But, so she gave me a Klonopin, which I still to this day can't even explain. I think it's something like a Xanax on steroids. So I first decided I'm not going to take that, I'm just going to be me. So I get all done up and I think like I'm going to look like I just got out of the shower. So I'm going to get my hair wet and I'm going to be like light makeup. I mean, I like fucking prepared the lighting, like I have this thing down. You can lift your computer up a little higher and it gives you better angles with females just in case you have Skype sex. So he's like, okay, we planned this session for, I don't know, 9 p.m. So I get all ready, I jump in the shower, I put my Spanx on because I was going to wear a tight little tee and I wanted to look skinny. Put my Spanx on, put my tee on, and rush over and like get sexy in front of the computer. He's not there, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, text message, hey, I'm caught at work, we're going to have to, you know, move this a little bit back. 30 minutes, an hour, continues on. I'm jumping back and forth from the shower back in front of the computer, like my fucking hair kept drying up. Shit was crazy. I keep jumping in the shower trying to get it perfectly wet. I had like so much product in it. It was crazy. So finally, I remember, you know, I had my glass of wine. I had a few glasses at that point. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, I feel so stupid. I'm just gonna take this pill. Pop the pill with the drinks, and then I got a text message from him saying, 10 minutes, let's go. So I'm like, okay, let me just jump in the shower real quick, get my hair wet. So, that's all I remember. I know I was going to jump in the shower. Okay, so I wake up in the morning, and I mean, I had the best fucking sleep I have ever had in my life. So I wake up in the morning, and I'm like real confused. I don't know what happened. I don't know what, you know, I'm not even sure where I'm at. I look at myself, and I was naked, except for my Spanx. And I had wet hair. So I didn't know what had really happened. I thought, okay, maybe I just passed out. Let me check my phone. So I got my phone, and it rings as I'm going to grab it. So I pick it up, and it's this girl, Toby, that I traveled around the world with on this program called Semester at Sea. And she's like, oh my God, like, it's so good to talk to you. It was amazing last night, etc. We got in this whole conversation about life, and like, you're just the coolest. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still trying to figure out what's happening. And she says, so, you know, you told me to call you this morning and wake you up. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, girl, sorry, like, I took a pill last night, I don't remember, but cool, it's great talking to you. So then I look at my phone, and there were literally 4 international phone calls. Apparently, I got inspired from what Toby had said to call people from Semester at Sea in different countries that I had become friends with. And apparently, I was on the phone with these people for no less than like 40 minutes. I don't remember any of this. Then I check my text messages, and there's a random number, and it says, that was so much fun. Good night, my little Jamaican princess. No idea what that's about. No idea. I to this day do not know what the fuck that was. So then I open my computer, and the Skype session is up, and it's ended. And like, you have the ability to type, and it says ended, and it says how long it went for. It went for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And then the last thing in the text box said Spanx a lot. So later, I find out that I was literally on the Skype session in my fucking Spanx with no clothes on, boobs out, wet hair, makeup dripping down my face like a crackhead. So needless to say, like, my fantasy of being his best Skype session probably didn't come true. Most interesting, yes. But again, he thought that it was lovable, and he liked me more. This guy's crazy. So we continue on. The first incident was horrible. The Skype incident was horrible. Now I'm going to New York for another show, and I'm going to see him.